My name is Renee Garcia. I am married to Frank Garcia, who is currently in Saudi Arabia, and we have 4 children together, Cassidy, Cameron, Kennedy, and Keegan, and Kennedy is our child with Down syndrome, and she is 11 years old. So we did not know that Kennedy had Down syndrome until the day that she was born. A few hours after she was born, the doctors came into our hospital room and told us that they suspected that she had Down syndrome and pointed out a lot of physical features that made them think that she had Down syndrome. And then they gave us this pamphlet that explained what Down syndrome was, and it was very outdated and had a lot of grim diagnoses and grim outlooks on the future. And it was really scary because we didn't know a lot about Down syndrome. And so they handed us a pamphlet and they walked out. And so we were left to look at this pamphlet with these really disheartening pictures of adults with Down syndrome and really scary stories. It talked about institutionalizing them. And so my second night in the hospital, I was still pretty overwhelmed and devastated by this diagnosis. And it was the middle of the night, and a nurse came in to check my vital signs and stuff. I just kind of turned away and let her do what she needed to do, and she was checking on Kennedy, and very nonchalantly she goes, "Yeah, I have a daughter with Down syndrome." And I turned back around and I said, "You do?" And she goes, "Yeah, she's 16. And so all of these thoughts went through my head, and I couldn't think of what I needed to ask her first. And so the first question that blurted out of my mouth was, "Does she walk?" And she just laughed, and she goes, "Well, of course, she's 16. And so she sat down on the bed with me, and she picked up Kennedy, and she handed her to me. And so we just talked about her daughter, and she explained, that she's a teenager, and she goes to school, and she has friends, and she does all the same things that other teenagers do. And that was the first thought of, oh, okay, so she's a kid like every other kid. And so that was a big, okay, maybe this is gonna be okay. And so she took the pamphlet that was on my bedside that the doctor had given me, and she tore it up and threw it away, and she was like, "You don't need that." And I was like, okay. And so that was a big okay, all right, this is gonna be okay. It's just like most families do with kids with special needs. Every milestone is a party. And when she walked, she ran. And when she ran, she danced. And she has not stopped dancing. And I think that is our favorite thing to watch her do, is to dance. I know that she's alive for a reason. I know that there are several times that she could have easily died. When she had cancer, during her spine fusion surgery, there are several times that I really hit my knees in prayer, begging him to give me more time with her. And he did. So we use our time wisely with her. And she has big plans for her life. Everywhere we go, she says, "I'm going to get a job here." And really, though, she wants to work at Claire's. And she says she's not going to bring home any money, just jewelry. And I think that will probably be the way that it goes. And that's okay. But it's, anytime we're out around town, people will stop and say hi to her, and she's well known and well loved, and people know her story. Now she tells it, and I'm not even her storyteller anymore. So, and that's the way that it should be. She should be the one telling her story. It's her story to tell. So, and even at dance competitions now, it's interesting to see people come up and be like, "I know you, you're Kennedy, I just saw you dance, you're such a good little dancer." And so I'm slowly stepping away as part of Kennedy's story as she emerges with her own. And it's awesome to see, because she's asserting her independence, and even just watching her out in the community as she says, "I got this, Mom, I got it." And she goes and talks to people and introduces herself and makes a name for herself, and that's awesome because she's her own little person. And she does, I mean, she loves everyone.
All right, so I'm Cassidy and I'm in 10th grade.
I'm Cameron and I'm in 8th grade.
And I'm Keegan and I'm in 3rd grade.
I think that she's just so social and she just starts talking to people, so they like to become her friends because she's so willing to talk to them.
My name is Kennedy. I'm at 11. I'm at 5th grade. I love to go to class with my friends, and I like my friends all the time. I go to recess, I do math and science. And now